Okay, so today we're going to talk about your first project and also kind of how to navigate the content management system. So, when you go into your courses under Blackboard, you're going to see a course that looks like this: 2D composition, Art 111, 0, and then 20015, and then 202320, which is that is the code for Winterim. You're going to click on that and it's going to take you inside the course. Now, everything inside the course is going to be under content. So we're going to go to content first, and then there's your welcome to Art 111. Please read. So this is where you're going to find your welcome letter right here. And I also created a little welcome video and talks about little ways that you can succeed in the class. There's also the syllabi, how to get onto a Zoom room, some online galleries, and then also reading material for every day. So I really highly want you to look at this reading material. So here's something for day 1, day 2, day 5 through 7, 8 through 10, 11 through 13, and 14 through 15. So all of that stuff is under Welcome to Art 111, please read. So make sure that the very first thing you do after you watch this video is that you go in there and check on that. Okay, so let's go ahead and go back out. And now we're going to go to the pre-test. So this is a test that has, you are not going to be graded on this test, but I want you to take this test. This is basically telling me exactly where you're at the beginning of the course. It's a series of random questions you may or may not know. Don't worry about looking them up. Don't worry about any of those things. All I want you to do is take the test. So go ahead and do that before you start anything else. So let's just get back out of there. And then we're going to go into Unit 1. And so Unit 1 is going to show you the videos on elements and principles of design. And so the first one that you're going to watch is this one right here, Fundamentals of the of Design. So that's the elements and the principles. And then I have a whole instructional piece here that's about 30 minutes long on the elements and principles of design. And that's what I want you to watch next. And then there's this area, which is all about a thumbnail, what's in a thumbnail. So tips on thumbnails. So this is basically how do you draw thumbnails? What are thumbnails, an article, examples of thumbnails, and more examples and information about thumbnails. And so thumbnails is something, I know it's funny, like what is a thumbnail? Well, it's my little thumb right here. No, actually, it's a tiny little picture that kind of gives you an idea of what it is that you're going to design. And so are these 100% perfect drawings? No, they are not. They're simply just, simple little ideas. So let's get into what the actual project is going to be. So let me click out of here, and I want to open up. Actually, I'm going to go down into, sorry, my bad. Let me go back into Unit 1, and we're going to go right to where the Project 1 and 2 rubrics are. So they're right here. So if we click on Project 1 and 2, the rubrics are together. So let's go ahead and look at these. So Project 1 and 2, this project will require that you come up with 12 thumbnails or 12 ideas for each of the designs. Now you can just draw this in your regular sketchbook that you purchased, and you can put it, those 12 ideas, and then you'll take a photograph of those 12 ideas. So you'll photograph them, and you'll upload those JPEGs actually into a Dropbox, which I will show you in a minute. So what are they going to be? Well, Project 1 will be a visual description of the elements of design. Project 2 will be a visual description of the principles of design. So see the difference there. Please see examples of student work in Blackboard, and I'm going to show you that also. After you've created your thumbnails, you will select 2 of these ideas as your best work. From those, you will select 1 image that you will use for your elements and 1 for your principles. So even though it's asking you, you will finish 2 8x10 roughs for each project, you are only going to be required in the short course to finish 2. So disregard this 4. It'll just be one of each. Now they should match. So you will receive a grade for your rough drafts. They are pass and fail. You have to hand them in on time or you're going to get a 0. So this is real important that you actually do this stuff right off the bat. Once you have completed your rough drafts in graphite, so you're going to use your graphite pencils that you bought when I sent you your list, you will select your best work and create your final poster for each of these 2 projects. Now it says here the final size is 11 by 17. That we are going to use the watercolor paper that you've already purchased. So you should have a pad. I think it's 9 by 14. That's the size that these will be. If you're going to do it a horizontal, then project 2 should be horizontal. If they're vertical, then they both should be vertical. Do not create them on one large sheet. They will be 2 sheets that work together. When you're done, you will photograph, take your JPEG, and upload it to Blackboard. So I think that's fairly understandable. So let's get out of here and let's look at some student work online. So this is online on my website, and here you can see what a student did. So they took these 2 ideas of elements of design and principles of design, and they put the elements, this is one piece of paper, and this is the other piece of paper. Notice that they're both vertical, and they use the idea of apps on their cell phone. And there they have line, shape, space, texture. No, I can't even read it. So a color, value, and I'm not sure what that is. And then on this side, we have, alignment, contrast, repetition, and proximity. Okay, so let's look at the next one. Here we just have the kind of like, it was kind of a play on the moon. This one was just sort of all over the board. They used the texture in the letters. They, kind of really were all over the place with this one. So they basically just took all the words and made all the words become the elements and principles. And they did the same thing here. So there you can see emphasis, repetition, 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 variety, and so on. Here they used a bicycle. Again, just breaking the space up into shapes. I love this one of my all-time favorites. So they did a donut box. So here we have the elements of design. So there we have, they've just created like a shape with color. And then the word color is in here, although it's kind of small, you kind of can't see it. See the C-O-L-O-R. So I think you probably want to make it more readable. I think if they would have took this line and actually let that spell the word color, it would have been very cool. This one they did shape, and there's our little sprinkles. Texture, value, line, space, and size, right? So pretty good job. And then with that, they put a latte. Now this one didn't work out as well because we kind of can't see it all. But I give them A for credit, or for effort. Again, alignment, contrast, repetition, proximity, principles of design, and so on. They did the same thing. And here we have a flower. I love this one, so pretty. And there on one side is the principles of design. And then the other side are the elements, and there's our leaves, and our leaves are giving us the pattern. And then here we have another one. Arrows, and here's another with kind of a donut shape. This one didn't get colored in. I think it would have been nice if it had. And here we have fish tanks, like in a fish store. So you see all the different variety of different things that you could come up with. So let's get out of here, and I'm going to go into Acrobat, and I'll show you some more. Hopefully. Oh, here we go. Okay. So let's go all the way to the top. Now, I thought I fixed all these, but some of them look a little wonky, so I'm just going to go ahead and turn them around. So there we can see this one used tennis shoes. I thought this are like shoes in general. I thought this was a great idea. So here we have shape, color. I don't know about direction. I think direction is not really an element. Line is definitely an element. Space would be an element, but direction's not an element. Here's another super fun. Kind of took the idea of cookies, and then on every cookie they did different things. Another donut box. Okay. I already turned all these once, so sorry that I'm having to turn them again. I thought this one was very fun. These are, again, two separate pieces of paper side by side. She did two shelves with different plants, and then every plant had a different, way of representing the color, the texture, the shape, the line, and so on. This one was super silly. She did like a toy, like a cat climbing thing, and very silly, but kind of fun. Cupcakes instead of donuts, also a great pattern. This one, I can't believe that it flipped around that much. Let's try it one more time. He did little cartoon basketball players, and I just thought this was really fun. Color, texture, value, line, and so on. And this was kind of a desk. So if I was sitting on a desk, I would have my books and my little plant and my light, and it looks like, I don't know what, maybe my phone and my color wheels. And that was my elements of design. I thought that was really clever. And then continuing on that desk theme, there we have my computer and my teddy bear or my mouse pad, and my book and my calculator. And so see how they put everything kind of in these spaces. Very nice. This one, I thought this was very interesting. They wanted to use the idea of old Coke bottles, and I don't know if you can see there, it says value and, size and line and so on. So here we have some of the different elements of design in that Coke bottle idea. This one again used plants, different plant format, and they're hanging plants. And again, that works really well. Here we have the elements of design in a leaf pattern. So there's shape, space, texture, line, and value. She didn't put color in. I think she was going to put color in, but I don't think she finished on that. Here we have a VW van and all the kind of stuff. And on the side, she did a whole bunch of different designs on the elements side too. And so it worked out really well. Here's two sheets of paper again, side by side. And there you can see contrast value. But what's the problem with this? We don't know which side we're looking at. So it's sort of like they're all mixed up. So that's a problem. I really want you to understand the difference between the elements on one side, principles on the other. So here are key elements of design. And there we've got the key. We have size, relationship, color, line in the key, value, the key gets dark to light, and shape. This one used perfume bottles. Thought this was really interesting, and just kind of found all her references and then put them in there. Again, here's another one. Did that butterfly scene, and they didn't really label anything very well. Like, it's hard to see. There's our line, there's our texture, so you definitely want to make sure we can read them. This one used a snow, whoop, it looks like we're totally upside down here. Hang on. Let's see if I can 180 degree it. There we go. Okay, so this one used elements of design and a kind of a snow theme. And there we have, like, you know, the snowflakes and the shapes. And I think this is supposed to be like shoveling or skating or something. I'm not really sure there. This one was kind of a great one, although there you can see the two different sides. And there we have the elements of design on one side. So see, it's clearly marked, elements of design. And here we have principles of design on the two fat little ducks. And there we have them, you know, kind of moving, variety, emphasis, movement, color, value, and so on. Really nice design. I love this one. They just, you know, I mean, hanging stuff on a clothesline, hanging things in a closet. One person one time did purses. You know, these are all great ideas. And then here again, we got an upside down one. I don't know. I actually rearranged all these right before I did this video. You wouldn't believe it, but I did. And there we can see they use the same, you know, other half. So the two of them would go side by side. So principles of design, elements of design. And then here's from our duck one that we saw a minute ago. And you can just see how nice this is, and you can kind of get a close-up of, you know, all of the bits and the way that they worked all of this out. Here's, I like this one a lot too. This one, this person used hot air balloons. And there we can see in the hot air balloon elements of design. And if we look in very closely, we can see there she's got her line and her texture and so forth. This one used a dream catcher and also used a dream catcher for the other half of principles. And so those are all of these different kinds of designs. So number one, you're going to need to, let me just minimize that and let's go back into the project. So number one, you're going to need to go into Dropboxes, and the first thing you're going to do is put your ideas in there. And those will all go right here. And you can make them into PDF or JPEG. If you don't know how to make a PDF, I have you covered. I gave you, here's a little video on how to make PDFs. The next is your 8x10s. Remember, you're just doing one for elements and one for principles. So you're taking whatever these ideas are, and you're going to take two of them that match, and you're putting them together here. And then final is your project 1 and then your project 2, and that's where they'll end up. Now, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. You can text me. My cell phone is on the syllabi. If you have questions, you can email me or text me. Please don't hesitate to do that. And I hope that this video was very informative on how to get started with your very first project. All right. Looking forward to seeing you next time. Have a great day.